You dug me out of my grave and saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia. And if you'd never come for me, I might have lingered in purgatory. No longer drowning and deceived, all because you came for me. Taylor, you are a brave woman. What blend of consciousness and unconsciousness she brings to this theater, we can only speculate. Ophelia is a classic symbol of the fragile feminine driven to madness and death by male rejection. By saying Travis saved her from this fate, Taylor is playing the archetype full out in front of our eyes. October 2nd, 2025. At about 1 o'clock on Tuesday morning, federal agents from Border Patrol, the FBI, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives raided an apartment building on Chicago's South Shore Drive. Using helicopters and large vehicles, as well as flashbang grenades, and dressed in military fatigues, agents broke down the doors of the residents of the 5-story building and pulled them from their homes in zip ties, some of them naked. Agents left the people tied up for hours before letting all but 37 of them go. The apartment's residents returned to were trashed. Heather Cox, Richard. October 3rd, 2025. Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. You're sweeter than a peach, but you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. And you're never ever gonna. Wait. The more you play, the more that you pay. You're softer than a kitten, so you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. And you're never gonna wanna. Taylor Swift, Life of a Showgirl. I'm just gonna leave this here. I feel sick. It's a complicated question. I would never put a moral imperative on another person. I know that Taylor's afraid. She entered the last Chiefs game she attended after Charlie Kirk's assassination behind a wall. She did not allow herself to be seen. But we're living in a difficult time. My experience of the album is that it's tone deaf. The timing, the vibe of the album compared to the vibe of the world. You don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. There are 4 songs on the album that are explicitly about fame. There are 3 songs that are kind of happy. There are 2 that are basically what I call Thank God I Found You songs. And then there's 2 that diss rivals. Most likely female rivals. We don't know for sure one of them. One of them Taylor's ex, one of them actually romantic. We don't know who she's singing about, but it's not kind. I'm holding all of this because I have a lot of compassion for her. She's carrying a lot more than she ever asked to carry. I would have been game for her to call us into love, to show us beauty. The role of the artist can be to show us beauty. What I'm feeling here is a kind of combination of Mean Girls, high school, very, very interesting expression for this moment in time. The song I probably liked best and that gave me hope was Elizabeth Taylor, famously of 8 husbands, 7 different men. To Elizabeth Taylor, she sings, "Tell me for real, do you think it's forever? I've been number 1, but I never had 2. And I can't have fun if I can't have..." And then she says, "Don't you ever end up anything but mine. I'll cry my eyes violet." So here's some interesting things there. She's obviously aware that she might have multiple marriages. That feels good to read. It shows an awareness of the complexity of life that she doesn't show in some of the other songs. Be number 1, but I never had 2. This lyric, very interesting. People are interpreting as she's been number 1 many times, but never been in a couple and been number 1, which she kind of has. But I heard the first time 2 men. And then she says, "And I can't have fun if I can't have you." I don't know. It leaves you the impression that it's a little more complicated than that, especially an Elizabeth Taylor song. And then, "Don't you ever end up anything but mine, I'll cry my eyes violet." I mean, such a possessive kind of love she's got here. And such an authentic expression of feeling, but doesn't feel like happy feeling, honestly. But she does show that she's resilient. She will be resilient like Liz Taylor. So I really love this song. I wanted to also highlight another lyric in Wish List that I don't talk about in the written piece, but I thought was pretty cool and telling and interesting and complex. She says, I just want you, huh? Have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. We tell the world to leave us the fuck alone, and they do. Wow. Got me dreaming about a driveway with a basketball hoop. Very different relationship to fame here. And again, very fantasy oriented. There is no way in the world that she's going to live on a block with a driveway and a basketball hoop. It's not possible. That ship has sailed. This album sounds like the hopes of a much younger time, a much more naive time. It's very interesting, the themes she's chosen to write about and how she's choosing to express herself. My heart hurt when I listened to Actually Romantic and heard the comments about Travis's ex. I heard a wound inside her because it's always from wounds that we take each other down. And she has the generosity to show this part to us. She stands naked and shows us how she feels. And I long for all of the millions of women who love her to learn along with her to love each other and open to each other and support each other. I'm going to read the piece that I put in writing. Who can save me from the fate of Ophelia? Taylor's in her marriage era. The first track of Taylor Swift's new album, The Fate of Ophelia, had me with my head in my hands. You dug me out of my grave and saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia. And if you'd never come for me, I might have lingered in purgatory. No longer drowning and deceived, all because you came for me. Taylor, you are a brave woman. What blend of consciousness and unconsciousness she brings to this theater, we can only speculate. Ophelia is a classic symbol of the fragile feminine driven to madness and death by male rejection. By saying Travis saved her from this fate, Taylor is playing the archetype full out in front of our eyes. She is saying without him, she would be mad. What will be created and destroyed from this alchemy is not under her control. It never is. That's the thing with the unconscious. We all have conflicts inside us, sometimes between an unconscious part and a conscious part, sometimes conflicting parts of our conscious selves. These are often based on archetypes, themes of the energies that all humans reckon with. Examples of archetypes are lover, mother, caregiver, and magician. They show themselves in our patterns, thoughts, feelings, dreams, and imaginings. Our conflicts are pairs of energies or archetypes ready to meet and see what happens. Sometimes we address our conflicts directly, feeling the feelings beneath Ophelia's madness, for example. Other times the conflict drives us and we are thrown into cycle after cycle of distress. Regardless, the inner conflictual energies come together, eventually destroying the old and creating the new. And here we have the richest woman in the world, one of the most powerful, giving her sanity and well-being over to a man. A whole part of her power subsumed in the lover archetype. What will be created? The fate of Ophelia is an archetypal expression of the dark feminine. The delusion that Ophelia's experience, madness and drowning after her father's death and Hamlet's rejection, is because she was in love with the wrong man is dangerous. We should not be dying because of male rejection, says a girl who knows this terrain from the inside. Moving beyond this fate has nothing to do with the right man coming along, as Taylor's album suggests, and everything to do with the alchemy at the heart of what looks like madness, but is also intergenerational heartbreak, survival fear, and trauma. When parts of us cannot be held, illness is our only answer. It is the only way the energy can move. So we need to hold each other, to create spaces for this alchemy to happen without destruction. When our full expressions and experiences have no place, they will come out in the dark. This is a profound shift for Taylor's fans to make. I was drawn to her for the honest pain of All Too Well. I will always treasure the feeling of safety and joy of being with thousands of women in sparkles at the Eras Tour. She channeled our feelings, went all out with her aesthetic. We couldn't stop singing, and she became the richest woman in the world. She even took over the NFL's awareness for a time. What an uprising. We're here, us women, we are. And the more Taylor was honest about her experience, the louder we sang. But now she's moved to a new phase. And while she used to sing about all the shitty things Med did to her, her new album shows us what was underneath all the time, that she's looking to be completed, to be saved. How very human of her. There is going to be so much healing on the other side. In the meantime, I'm concerned for the millions of younger women confirmed by their idol in their Ophelian madness that gives their lives up for men. I feel concerned for the influence she has. We all have influence, though, and most heterosexual women have skin in the game on this one. That's how we end up repeating this mess over and over. If we didn't, we'd warn each other more clearly about the trap of making a man our whole world. And so we all rooted for Taylor to find her person, even knowing what we know. What hasn't been said out loud so often is this. It's not men she's careening toward. It's herself. That the great lesson of love, whatever the outcome, is that we are whole and complete just as we are. The marriage is a stepping stone to her next step. She's performing alchemy in front of us. Taylor, you said this week that it's hard to find role models. Keep looking. Surround yourself with older women who can support you in being who you are. There is a lot of wisdom in this world that can support you. You're embarking on the biggest journey of your life on the world stage. There are so many of us who see you, who have the capacity to ride the wave with you, who want you to succeed in teaching women who they really are. Keep breathing, connecting to nature, and building those strong female relationships that can reflect your strength and beauty back to you every step of the way. One way or another, Taylor will discover that no man can save her from the fate of Ophelia. But women on their own 2 feet can. Devoted to the divine inside of themselves and trusting the healing that comes when we hold each other and ourselves, we have the power to stand by each other and help each other step fully into our lives as people. And then all the forms of love can surround us because we know from the inside that we are held, loved, cherished, and whole, and deserve to live long, rewarding lives that are expressions of wisdom and love. If you're enjoying listening, please share with a friend. We meet online, but the real work happens off screen. A reminder to all of us to step outside, feel the earth beneath our feet, take a breath of fresh air, and remember who we really are.